Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. Don't forget to leave a like on the video. Yeah, it's a free and easy way to support the channel. A very big thank you to everyone who leaves a comment on every video as well to help out with the algorithm. There's a sort of a frenzy going on, and I don't foresee anytime soon that it's actually going to stop. I mean, actually, more likely, it'll definitely not stop or go in the opposite direction. Since, and I always like to think this way. This is personal. Since we keep hearing this news, I imagine it's even crazier behind the scenes. Do you remember earlier this year when we started getting news from a lot of like the higher ups in the space that apparently a couple of companies were planning on buying like $1 million, $2 million worth of Bitcoin back in the olden days? For those of you who don't know, that was very big news. We didn't, like, literally from January of this year to the past, we didn't have companies talking about a Bitcoin treasury, a Bitcoin strategy. We had MicroStrategy, but that was in a very different context. They were literally just like, we really like Bitcoin and we want to accumulate it. This entire idea of like strategically getting away from fiat currencies or building a treasury, that wasn't how the market actually ran years ago. What we now have is an amalgamation of a dozen different things. It's like a big, one gigantic clump of investment from multiple different sectors. When I say when we get this news, I imagine that the other charts and where these companies expect things to go are far crazier than we could ever actually begin to imagine. So, and I will tell you this part first and I'll explain the other part. It'll make a lot more sense. Hopefully, who knows? I'm a little crazy today. So, we are currently in the midst of question mark. What we were talking about for the last few days. Analysts have told us that we are currently in a bull run. We're in the bull market. All the things we were talking about taking place, they're all taking place. We're here. We're nearing the full scope, the full moon of ETF application approvals as the next couple of weeks end up going on. What's happening with Bitcoin is meant to also be tremendous. An analyst has stated that Bitcoin's current charts show that Bitcoin is in a super cycle. And the weirdest part of this super cycle is, in case you missed that part, is that Bitcoin is currently, they say, on its way to $360,000 this cycle. In case you missed it, I'm going to give you the literal short and long of it. The short being, analysts are saying that they're expecting by the end of this year, Bitcoin's price has completely lost its mind and goes to 360,000 US dollars. And this still falls short of the $500,000 Bitcoin that we keep having thrown our way every now and again. And or the other part is that this might take place by the time we get to 2027. Why 2027? I don't know. That's the year that we keep hearing all these analysts talk about over and over. It was previously 2028, but that has also lightly changed where we get the idea of, okay, cool down, cool it. The idea is that cycles are basically over. Like the 4-year cycle that we knew, and I can show you, Google it, like dozens of articles and all these people are constantly talking about it. The idea would be that basically the 4-year thing that we knew before has kind of come to an end. The secondary part is that the thumbs up, it basically would mean that Bitcoin is on like a slow crawl, continuously going higher, which would then put it at 360 and I dare say $500,000 by 2027. If you were here before, the 2028, 2029 predictions for Bitcoin, that is to say a year after the 2028 halving, They range anywhere from 1.2 million to 2.4 million from Kathy Wood and her Bitcoin price prediction. I got to tell you these things because otherwise everything else just kind of won't fit. You have to, once again, when we get this news, this is why I think, or it seems to play nicely with the idea of why we keep getting all these companies every single day talking about how much money that they're going to be putting into the cryptocurrency market. It wouldn't make sense otherwise. Because once again, as we see more de-dollarization, as we see more people getting away from stocks and bonds and all these other things that we keep hearing aren't going to perform as well as Bitcoin, the generalized idea is that from henceforth, we are going to start to see massive movements in the cryptocurrency space. Prices will go higher. And this also lends to the idea why these companies want all of this Bitcoin before anyone else on the planet actually ends up figuring it out. Because I've been saying that for a couple of months now. People pretended like it wasn't a thing. But now we're seeing all these companies announcing that they're buying $300 million worth of Bitcoin. And I guess it makes a lot of sense. Another company has announced that they are getting into crypto. And I must state this beforehand. Because the weirdest part for me, realistically, has been that we are not hearing these companies announcing that they're buying real estate, buying gold, buying silver, buying land, buying diamonds. They're buying crypto with it. If you missed one of the other videos in the summertime, this stood out to me. There's a real estate, you can Google this. There's a real estate company in Mexico. They are big real estate company. They announced that they were selling. No. They announced that they were buying $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. I'm going to say that one more time. $1 billion US worth of Bitcoin. And they were selling $10 billion worth of real estate in order to buy Bitcoin. Yeah, that's what the fudge are you talking? That's insane. So, a company by the name of Sora Ventures, SORA Ventures, has announced that over the next 6 months, they're going to be purchasing over $1 billion US worth of Bitcoin. You have to, at this point, say that this is a bit weird, right? You have to, because I often peruse through the comments. I see people writing on Twitter. A lot of people, I don't know if you're lying to me or to yourself or to the internet. A lot of people pretend that this isn't like a big thing. People just want prices to go higher, but you won't benefit directly from prices going higher if you just don't own the actual asset. Like imagine we got news that real estate prices within the United States were expected to 16x by December 2026. And then someone's like, wow, I'm so happy. Everyone else wow, you guys are going to get rich. That's amazing. As opposed to trying to buy property themselves is how I feel a lot of the times. These companies, as I've stated months ago, and it's only gotten worse. These companies months ago used to announce $12 million purchase, maybe $35 million. Yeah, we'll see. As the market matures, we'll decide to buy more. No, they're all announcing billions of dollars that they're going to be purchasing of this asset. So, yeah, interesting times ahead. I've said it before. I'll say it again. It's because it's true. I find it still very odd how few people are in this market, how few people are going to benefit from all these price rises. I think these companies definitely know something that we don't, and this is why they're all rushing in at the exact same time. Same as I told you for Ethereum, it feels coordinated. The Ethereum companies, in case you missed it, I think there are about 15 or 20 of them, something like that. But We only need, I think, 6 of them, 6 of the companies to accumulate and continue. They say that they each want 5 to 7% of all the ether that's out there. That would take away all the ether that's also left on crypto exchanges and on markets that people think is liquid. So, yeah, another company, another day. It's going to be fascinating, especially, and I use the W word, when Bitcoin's price does eventually triple, get us to $360,000. That's going to be a bit of a doozy for everyone else out there trying to accumulate. So never forget how early you are in this market, because you're pretty gosh darn early. Bitcoin's still under $1 million. I do hope sincerely that you've all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. Okay, I'm tired. Okay. See you.